everyone, it's Moose, and thank you so much for joining me back here. Today we're going to do kind of a middle of the year type video, It's still in the middle of May, so we have just a little bit left until it's the middle of the year, but it's close enough for me. Close enough. My daughter's here if you hear her hiccups. Today we're going to talk about all of the books I have DNF'd this year, did not finish. I stopped in the middle of reading them for whatever reason. I think when I went through my story graph and counted all the books, I think I only had 5 or 6. So that's a good number for me considering we're halfway through the year. When I say I did not finish them though, I mean I gave them a fighting chance. There have been plenty of books where I've read like the first chapter and kind of thought maybe it wasn't for me, or I listened to maybe like an hour of it on an audiobook and decided that I didn't like it. So these are the books that I gave a good effort, a good run, and I know at least one of them I almost finished and just couldn't do it. It just was not for me. So I'll get more into that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first book I didn't finish this year was It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is a romance book. It said it was supposed to be a rom-com. I've been so into rom-coms lately, but I don't know. It wasn't that funny to me. The characters were kind of shallow, not in the sense that, well, one of them was very concerned with her appearances, but they just lacked some depth, I guess. I thought they were very surface level characters. And when it finally got to the point where some romance was happening and they were engaging with one another, I didn't care about it. I didn't care about it at all. It was kind of cringy to me. It made me not want to read anymore, so I didn't. I stopped reading, and now it's on my DNF shelf. Next up, I have one that some people might be mad at me for. I have a few here on this list that some people might be mad at me for. I have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So many people love this book. I know so many people rave about this book. I don't know that I've ever heard anyone talk badly about this book. And let me just say, I don't think it's a bad book. I just don't think it was for me. Wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know. The plot was just not interesting to me. I typically like either rom-coms with romance or fantasies with romance. And this was just kind of like just a straight fiction book about a woman who happened to be romantically involved with other people. So it just wasn't for me. I found myself kind of, as I was listening to it, I did try to listen to it, I found myself just kind of wanting to get to the end of it because I wanted to know what the hype was about, not because I actually wanted to listen to it or because I was really enjoying myself. Sorry, I know a lot of people love this. It just wasn't for me. Okay, the next 2 out of 3 that I have left are also books that everybody's raving about right now. Next up I have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong, maybe? I'm sorry, Hong? I don't know, I'm sorry. Again, wasn't for me. Straight out of the bat. This book is centered around sex, which I'm not interested in reading about, if I'm being completely honest. When I read romance books, I want the other parts of the romance. I like the part where they fall in love and they meet each other and they go to a coffee house and all of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of things that I like when it comes to romance books. The smut, I couldn't care less about. I usually just kind of skim through them to get to the other stuff. And that's what this book is. It's just a bunch of smut. Basically, the main female protagonist wants to learn how to do things in a good manner. And so she hires a male escort to teach her. I assume they fall in love at the end. I don't know. I didn't get there, but I wasn't interested. Was not for me. See you later. This makes sense to me now because I did not realize these were written by the same author. But next up I have Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey, who also wrote It Happened One Summer. I guess maybe she's just not for me. The thing I didn't like about this book, I almost finished this one. I got to like 80% maybe and thought about I had the thought, I was like, I'm almost done. I might as well just finish it. I didn't want to. I couldn't care less about the story. Didn't like it. Basically, what I didn't like about this one is our male protagonist, our male romantic interest, is very dominating and controlling. He's one of those guys where he's like, yeah, you're going to do this because I told you so. And she's not like, oh, yeah, of course I am. Don't like it. Didn't like it. Everyone else I've ever seen says they loved it. Not for me. Don't like that trope at all. Makes me uncomfortable. Sitting here thinking Twilight kind of has that trope, but I don't know. Love Twilight, hate this one. Not hate it, but it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. Anyways, last book I have. I didn't give as much of a chance as the other ones, but I still kind of dedicated a lot of time to it. I have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This one was just slow for me, I felt like. Basically, two people split up and are forced to be in close proximity to each other, and I usually like close proximity, but as the story goes, you're kind of getting glimpses into their past and maybe what caused them to break up and stuff. I might give this one another chance later on down the road. In the moment that I was reading it though, I was trying to listen to it on audiobook and I was just not interested. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest with you. So I kicked it to the curb. So there we go. There are some popular books that I have DNF'd. Sorry. I'm not trying to attack anybody who has enjoyed these books. I know plenty of people have. And if you did, I'm so happy for you. I love that you found enjoyment in these. I just personally did not. They were not for me. That is not to say they are not for somebody. They are just not for me. It is what it is. There we go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books and how you felt about them. If you like them, tell me about it. Tell me about it, because I'm happy for you that you like them. And I would like to know if maybe I wasn't being fair enough. Anyways, you guys are awesome. I am so thankful for you, and we will be back here next time, guys. See ya.